Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In tonight's video, it's going to be a topic video talking about the studios that create these Call of Duty games, as well as the supply drop system and the sort of drama going around this $30 melee weapon bundle, what they've done to change that up, and just some different opinions, as well as Michael Condrey. So for those of you who don't know, Michael Condrey is the co-founder and former studio head of Sledgehammer Games, which of course Sledgehammer Games are the creators of Advanced Warfare, which was the first Call of Duty game to contain supply drops, and also World War II, which was of course one of the more recent games. As of right now, basically Michael Condrey is now the president of the new 2K Games development studio in Silicon Valley, but he of course had a big part in Call of Duty, and especially in being the third developing studio in, because it was Treyarch and Infinity Ward on a 2-year cycle for a while, and then Sledgehammer Games came in. And Michael Condrey made some comments a couple days ago basically talking about the $30 DLC weapon bundle that Black Ops 4 came out and his opinions on it. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys could drop a like on this thing. I would very much appreciate it. It only takes half a second, and the people that really take the time out of their day to smack that like button and support the channel, it does mean the world to me. So if you guys are on your phone, flip your phone up vertical, smack that like button, and then continue to listen to the video. I'd appreciate that. Also subscribe and hit that notification bell if you are new. So let's get right into it. Now, Charlie Intel reported on this when it happens, and that basically Michael Condrey says he wouldn't release a $30 melee weapon on his watch. Now, first of all, what is this $30 melee weapon that he is referencing? This is, of course, the home wrecker sort of bundle for the hammer that came out into Black Ops 4 a little bit ago, and this is what it contained. Of course, I talked about this before, it came out a while ago, but basically it contained your DLC weapon, which was the melee weapon. It contained one of those new weapon crates, which you also got one of those for free, and then 10 reserves, and then 10 reserve cases. So this bundle was put together for 2,800 COD points, which is around 25 to 30 bucks US dollars, somewhere around there, right? And this is why people were in outroar of this bundle, basically because people were saying $30 for a melee weapon, obviously, which is a ripoff, which technically it isn't $30 for a melee weapon, but this is where it gets tricky. It's because they know that people sort of might want that weapon crate as well as the melee weapon, but they know that they don't want to just sell that for 5 or 10 bucks, so they throw in these reserve cases and these reserves, which are essentially supply drops, or the same sort of idea of supply drops, basically forcing you, if you want any chance of getting that, you have to get it as a bundle. It's sort of like what kids would do back on the playground, which if you and your friend, we're a package deal, we're a bundle, when you're going to pick teams for sports or something. It's kind of BS if we're being honest about it, and that's basically what they do, and that is why some people were a lot of people were upset about this bundle, because people wanted that melee weapon, of course, and it was, I mean, you can tell why it was strategically put together to make people spend more money than you should have to get that. So Michael Condrey, of course, sort of made some comments on this. Basically, some people on Twitter were tweeting about him, saying that just for you, they added microtransactions because AW was the first game to contain that. And he responded to this tweet saying this. This is from Michael Condrey. To be clear, Advanced Warfare launched only with rewarded supply drops. We were driven by and at the service of providing fans more ways other than just XP to earn rewards, customize their CAC, which I'm guessing is create a character or create a class, something like that, and express achievements in the virtual lobby. $30 for a melee weapon? Not on my watch. So this was a very, very telling and interesting tweet from Michael Condrey, who really, this is what Charlie Intel reported, is that this is one of the first times, really, that Michael Condrey has ever commented on microtransactions in Call of Duty in a tweet. Even when he was at Activision, there was really no explanations behind some of the decisions. Advanced Warfare was one of the first games in Call of Duty to bring microtransactions with supply drops, but Call of Duty World War II did have a fair system with collections, rewards, and more. And that is, of course, in Charlie Intel's opinion. The World War II system was much like we've seen before. There were some negatives and, of course, some positives to it as well. But the couple things that were so interesting about this tweet is the first thing that when they were creating supply drops, they were driven by and at the service of providing fans with more content. So this basically means that supply drops originally, this is a telling sort of tweet, right? Because it means that originally these supply drops, these microtransactions were all created by these game studios to give, or at least according to Michael Condrey, to give us, the players, the fan base, better sort of content. But then it's about Activision, and I guess Activision with the studio, how are they going to release and how are they going to monetize this content, which is of course where a lot of the drama and, you know, what people would say the bad decision making or good decision making comes into play with Call of Duty. So the other thing he said, so that first part of the tweet, which is basically saying that the studio was driven by trying to service the fans, is interesting because he also says, which sort of implies that Activision is the one trying to milk the cash cow, I guess you could say, or, you know, get the most money out of this, because they are the company which is ahead above all three of these studios. But then he also says towards the end of the tweet, $30 for a melee weapon, not on my watch, which does imply that maybe just, you know, maybe the position that he had, he would have the power to make those decisions, and maybe the people at Treyarch don't have that same influence, or the people at Treyarch just aren't using that influence as well. So that was an interesting telling tweet from Michael Condrey, really just giving a slight little roast over to Black Ops 4 and Treyarch, basically saying what all of us have been saying, which is nice to see someone that is in the industry say the $30 for the melee weapon bundle is ridiculous, just like what the people like us, the fans, are saying. So what's happened with this, and basically that was a tweet, a lot of people are talking about it, it did stir up some controversy around, but basically there's also some rumors and some images where it looks like the Homewrecker bundle has been reworked. Someone posted this on Twitter saying this was on PC, where basically they reworked the bundle to just be $8 and come with the melee weapon and all that sort of other stuff, and it looks like maybe this is what they're going to be putting out on all consoles or devices. I'm not really sure, but this is just like the Shamrock and Awe event where they came out with that bundle. Everyone was laughing at it. Everyone was saying this is ridiculous. They changed the name from the Shamrock and Awe to the Luck of the Irish, and bada bing, bada boom. And it looks like they're going to be doing that again. And it's like, at this point, you know, how long is this going to last? They throw some BS into the game. Everyone says this is BS, and then they change it. It's like, it seems like it's just a cycle over and over and over and over again. And it definitely seems like it can't be. Treyarch and Activision, they know what they're doing with this bundle, and they know how people are going to receive it. I really think they just are trying to just throw this stuff out there and just sort of see what happens, because at the end of the day, people are still gonna, I mean, Call of Duty's gotten so much hate over microtransactions, and people, you know, are still supporting the game and playing it because people enjoy the game. I enjoy the game, and there's some BS we have to deal with when it comes with it. So what are my opinions on this, and how does it work? Michael Condrey, that tweet was very, very revealing, did give us some good info, but my opinion on it is, it sucks because I know if you're someone that does care about like that melee weapon, you sort of have to get that bundle to get the weapon. However, in my opinion, I know most people aren't melee only players, and a lot of the stuff with the supply drop in this game, it's weird with the microtransaction system, because there's really good thing about this microtransaction system in Black Ops 4, and that is as of now, all of the DLC weapons you can earn for free, completely free. Whenever the seasons reset, you can earn all the ranks up on your contraband stream for free. The bad stuff is whenever they do add cool content that's paid or behind a paywall or in the supply drops, the rest of that system is just absolute garbage. And my advice is, you know, when it comes to stuff like this, which is just a BS when they're throwing in the Luck of the Irish bundle or a melee weapon for $30 or a jump pack for $20-25, obviously most people are just going to say, what the heck is that, and not purchase it. And that is what I would recommend. If it's not worth the value to you, which most of these bundles to the average player are not going to be worth the bundle or worth the value, don't spend that money. However, it does suck because it's sort of like you're being teased or tempted with that stuff behind a paywall, and then some of the stuff they're going to give you, and I think this is how it's going to end up playing out, where as of right now, the contraband stream is really good, but if they don't sell many of these bundles and they're not selling stuff from the store, we all know what's going to happen. They're going to start putting the good stuff in there behind the paywall, and then put the crappy stuff in the free to reward system, and it's just going to be really, really a bad situation overall. So I think it's good that people are speaking up about this. I mean, at the end of the day, Black Ops 4, it's like they have every single way. They have supply drops, which are the reserve crates. They have the essentially like a Fortnite season pass, battle pass, which is the contraband stream. They have the item shop. So they have item shop, contraband stream, and supply drops. And it's like, they still can't get it right. So it really isn't in the methods. It's more in the details, I would say. But those are my opinions on it as of right now. If that bundle comes out for $8, it's still $8 for a melee weapon, which is like, if you care about it, yes, it's worth it. If you don't, it's not. And at the end of the day, if this game was $60 total, that bundle, regardless of it containing those crates and the melee weapon and all that, being 2,800 call points is just insanity. You know, it just really is insanity. And in my opinion, Call of Duty is a game that you still can enjoy and play. And when it comes to microtransactions, my advice would be selective of what you purchase. If it's a contraband stream and you want to earn it for free, yes, put your time to that and earn it. If they do drop some new content, or there's something in the item shop that's a camo and it costs $3, you know exactly what you're getting, yeah, that's a fair transaction, right? If you know the price you're going into it. But when it gets more into this sort of weird stuff where it's like, okay, package bundles, and that's where it really gets to a different level. So those are my opinions on it. It was interesting to see Michael Condrey speak out about this, and definitely something that was nice to see, I guess you could say. And Black Ops 4, just please do it better in the future with the microtransactions. Provide dope content and just make it like, people want to spend money. If you put a camo in the game and it's dope for $5, I'll buy it. Everyone will buy it. You know, everyone that has that money, that it's worth it to them. However, when you put, if you put that camo in for instead of selling it for $5, sell it for $50, which with a bunch of stickers and calling cards, that's when people can see past these games and are like, come on, you know. So good content, I think, with fair ways to earn stuff and also fair ways to purchase stuff is the way forward. But it's like, I mean, how many times have I talked about the supply drop system, and other YouTubers talked about the supply drop system so far this year, making videos about this? At this point, it's sort of just like, you know, we're just going to continue to voice our opinions. People like Michael Condrey speaking out, and we can, you know, at the end of the day, that's pretty much all we can do. We don't make the game, we play the game. And if they continue to try to milk money, or like milk with these bundles, if people don't buy the bundles, which I really don't think people are buying those bundles really much, like for me, when things come out into the game, certain things are worth it. Certain things, for me as a content creator, it's like, oh, that's a dope reactive camera or something, I'm going to purchase that. But then other things I pass on, or some things I'll purchase, and other things I'll pass on. And it really all just depends. You have to figure out what is best for you, and don't be afraid of missing out. That's one thing I would say, because I know a lot of people like, oh, I can't buy this or I can't buy that. You feel like you're missing out on something because you know, a lot of other people have it. But in the reality, if the stuff right now, even if you are missing out, it's just camos and it's just cosmetics. So I think as of right now, do the best. If you don't want to spend money on this game, do the best to just focus on the stuff you can earn, and hopefully in the future this stays somewhat of a it gets better. It needs to be a better system and a more fair system. And the problem is always going to be when they're not making money, when people aren't buying these bundles, they're gonna, who knows which step they can take next, either making it more consumer friendly or just trying to milk money even more. So I have to wait and see on that. Anyway, that's my opinion. Save your money. If you see something and you think it's worth it, buy it. If you see something and it's not worth it, don't buy it. And don't be afraid to express your opinions. Of course, my job as a content creator is I'm going to give my opinions. I'm going to show stuff off. I'm going to make content on the game. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. And that's about it. And I'm out. Peace.